Hello, first year computer animation students. This video is designed to show you how to put the Lego pieces that you designed into an ATV vehicle and animate those pieces coming together. So let's just take a quick look at what you should be doing. So reminder that I have posted the final project, which is the Mega Bloks final project worth 100 marks. So this assignment isn't due until June 12th. So you have about 6 weeks or so to get this done. Basically, this is going to be a long assignment, and the very first step that I did a video last time about was how to model the Lego pieces in Blender. So you can watch this YouTube video that will guide you as to how to do that. Today, what I'd like to look at is step 1B, which is animating the pieces coming together to form the vehicle. So let's take a look at how we can do that. So the very first thing I want to do is I would like to take a look with you at how we can have a follow the path. So basically, I'll give you an example of what that looks like first of all. So I'll just play a quick video here of this. So basically, this is an example of me using a circle that the camera follows the path of to get a 360 view of a particular object. So let's take a look at how we can do that. So if I go to a Blender file like this, to do what I just showed you is actually very simple. So basically what I'd want to do is I'd obviously want to go into orthographic view by pressing the letter 5 on the numpad. I would go into top view by pressing 7. I'm going to delete out the cube, and instead I'm going to add a mesh monkey. And I'm just going to undo that actually, and just shift C to make sure that my monkey is right in smack in the center here. Now, what I have is my monkey here in top view, so I can see the top of his head. Now I'm going to, in the same sort of orientation, the center point, I'm going to now add curve, and then I'm going to add a circle. So this circle is not very large, but I'm going to scale this, so S7 to scale it 7 times bigger. Now what I want to do is I would like to get a good view of what I would like my monkey to look like. So I'm going to, in front view, sort of zoom in so I have a good view of my monkey, and I'll just smooth it maybe just a little bit, my monkey. But while I have my monkey in view here, I'm going to Control Alt and then the numpad 0 to align my camera so that it's looking at this monkey the way I want it to. So I'm just going to go to side view then, and I'm just going to grab my camera. I'm just going to slide it up a little bit. And then I'm going to, looking at this, see where it's positioned. So it's not bad, but I might want to pull it back a little bit so I get a little bit more of the scene of the camera. So I'll just pull it over and to the side a bit so I have a good view, a good angle of this. Now, at this point here, I'm just going to go back, and I now have my monkey, I have my camera nicely aligned, and then I have this circle path that I have created. So what I need to do is I need to have my camera selected first, then I'm going to shift right click on my circle, and I'm going to then hold down the control key and press the letter P. So Control P, and I'm going to choose the follow path option. Now what you'll see is there's a little bit of a dotted line here, and if I were to run this now, notice that the camera goes perfectly around in this circle around this camera. So if I were to run this again, I'm just going to bring it back to 1 here, and I'm going to put it into camera view, and I'll run this. So you can see that it quickly goes around. Now, I can either have this go slower, or I could change my speed here. But the way we can make this go slower is I can, in here, while I have my path selected, so I need to have my path selected, I can click on here, which is the object data that looks a lot like a path. And if I scroll down, I will see an option that says path animation. So I can change the frames from 100 to 250. And what this will do is it won't change anything. It'll just mean that it will be moving slower. So now it takes approximately 10 seconds to do this. Now, if I go back to frame 1, and I were to put it into camera view and I were to run this, now you're going to see that it goes around the entire perimeter of this monkey nice and slowly. So it takes 10 full seconds approximately to get around back to the face. So that is a simple way that we could approach creating a pathway for our camera to be able to sort of pan around a scene of what we're doing. So let's take a look at now what it might look like if we were to have built all our pieces. So imagine that you have actually built all of your pieces. So if I zoom in here, you can see that I have all my wheels, all my pieces. And what I've done now is I've situated them so that they're basically all sort of around, they're around this pedestal where I'm going to sort of highlight the building of my ATV. So I'm going to show you what this kind of looks like here. So what we see here is this circle here is simply that pathway that I showed you before. It is linked to the camera that is here. And as I start to build my pieces, this camera will be scrolling or panning around. So I'm going to put this into camera view and zoom out a little bit so you can see what's going on. And I'm going to run this. So what you can see is the pieces start to fill in here quite rapidly because we don't want to take forever. And we're going to put the tires on and we're going to finish it all up and then drop it, and then that's it. That is the animation. So there's a bit of work involved in this. Obviously the first part is putting the pieces together, building the pieces. But then once we've done that, once again, the key here is we just need to organize the pieces in a proper form so that when we are going to build it, that we can sort of bring them in one at a time rapidly as the camera focuses on that. Now, do you have to have the camera going around in a 360? No, you don't, but it's a neat option to do. And this concept of following the path is something we can use after we have animated this camera coming, or the vehicle coming together. We can have our vehicle then travel around in our actual landscape as well by building a pathway, maybe not a circle this time, but an actual path that's going to weave in and out of our various landscapes. So this is a neat option for you to use to really control the movement of your particular camera in this case, or eventually your ATV. So hopefully that makes sense. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, once again, as always, please don't hesitate to just simply email me and I'd be happy to help you.